before winning a World Series. You look at the numbers, 2,093, one of the most beloved.
And now their payroll is almost $400 million. What they did most.
Will make his spring debut today. A terrific season a year ago between the Pirates. Traveling game during spring training. Dusty Baker's brought only the split squad.
You mentioned him and Jose Abreu being able to add to that. And Dusty was talking about Abreu, what you want.
Because if you have not watched a spring training baseball game yet, folks, you're going to notice something a little. It was nice and deliberate there. We had a little bit of a delay. We're ready to go. Baseball on a Tuesday afternoon. Seconds on the clock.
So I did the Mets-Cardinals game yesterday, and I found for the first 3 innings hard not to watch the clock when you're just getting used to it.
So foul ball to Tucker, 1-2. Ball at 2 strikes for Tucker. And a high fastball from Jose Quintana to the first time all.
Adjusting.
Yeah, that's been a big surprise for me. Buck Showalter told me.
Tucker slams one in the air to right center field. Arcana will call off DJ Stewart.
By the time the pitch came, that's Max Scherzer using the rule.
That man will be the last player to, since Jake Myers takes a strike. As McCormick on deck as well. Myers a little bit healthier after dealing with some shit. On Alvarez, bunch of regulars. That's on the ground at fair. Inside that new bigger bag at third base. New Mets left fielder Tommy Pham will track it down, and Jake Myers adjusted on base plus slugging was 34%. McCormick stands in.
Roster that stepped up in big situations.
You know, it's so interesting to watch the defensive alignment now.
Pitch timer went right down to his second there. Quintana apparently just got it off in time. Hold it as long as you throw with a second remaining. Ball a little bit last couple of years, which has been a testing ground. 3-2 for Chas McCormick here. And they're going to accept these rules and some think we're all going to forget about him in about a week.
Figure out how to make that adjustment.
Quintana throws it with 2 on the timer here, and it is.
Maybe get a time for defense. That's been one of the biggest things.
I had a veteran pitcher from the National League tell me it's not going to work. I checked on that yesterday. There is no chance they're going to give him a month to do it.
High bouncing ball is foul here from Jose Abreu, who was down 0 bad, added by the Astros. A terrific career with the White Sox. 5 of his 8 full major league seasons.
And again, Dusty just loves. I'm not interested in exit velocity. I'm interested in exit hits.
That's his career. That'll get you some RBIs. That's in the air to left from Abreu. Hooking down the line. This ball is fair. And to the wall. And Dusty's going to be happy.
Abreu.
That ball's cracked to right center field by Corey Lee. This is going to bring in at least 1, and it'll be 2 with Abreu trailing McCormick. Corey Lee in a battle for the backup catcher spot. Around a little bit in Dodgers minors. No, his first big league game was in St. Louis.
All basketball. I don't know how you do it.
Here's Quintana for 3. Oh, wait. That's a different sport. And Bannon slams one foul, 2-2.
Really impressive.
A ground ball to the third baseman, Eduardo Escobar. And behind the play, Lee will take
60.
I do know that Tommy John's first major leagues, but cutting it 25 minutes off is great.
We'll take it if we get it. David Hensley, shortstop today with
like the nonsense, the in between, the walking.
And that's the point. We're not necessarily looking for faster games. We're looking.
It's a block by Omar Narvaez, the new Mets catcher.
Hours and 7 minutes.
In the center field from Hensley with some distance, with some power, and way up off the batter's eye. Hensley, who's in a spring battle to try to get on the roster as a utility player, and maybe more than that. 26-year-old right-hander Troy Miller. Troy Miller, who is definitely not Tommy Hunter, will start his outing. Second baseman today, Whitcomb. There's some spots available and trying to work himself into that bench mix. And he'll pop it up. On the infield, Lindor calls off McNeil, and Francisco Lindor of illegal pitches. That looks like a more normal windup as Garcia throws a strike to Tommy Feeks. And what he's doing now. Stuff looks good to start on a ball and a strike for Pham.
It's kind of his signature that he used to do.
Well, I asked him about how big of a change was this bullpen on that. Now he's pitching in a game. There's a big difference between the exhibition game.
Tommy Pham goes through strike 2. There's that addition to the Mets this offseason. We'll slap one back to the screen.
And he brings time this year, and he has to adjust too.
I think it's helped. Been working on in between pitches, gain time, get back in the box within 8 seconds.
In the lineup.
Third base side for Rylan Bannon, and the key guy in the lineup is out. Here's Francisco Lindor.
What do you think of the hair, Kevin?
He operates with such flair. Francisco Lindor, all-star a season ago.
Well, Buck Showalter told us that
Francisco would go purple.
So also there's a talent show.
We don't know what everyone else is going to do. I mean, Pete Alonso's emceeing it. He's already coming up with his comedy lines. He's been rehearsing them. Katia, Francisco's wife.
Into center field. Beautiful swing by Lindor. There's some talent on all sides of this family. A 2-out single.
So Alonso kind of personifies where we are in the adjustment period. I can't do this. I'm rushing. I can't do these new rules. It took one plate appearance. Thank you.
He was saying, though, that the hardest part for him is he's to know what each batter does. It's kind of their routine heading into the bat.
Lindor's on the move. And Alonso flares this one toward Kyle Tucker in right. Watches it bounce foul. 40 a season ago. But you feel that as a hitter ever, Jess, that you could overthink?
Yeah, Pete Alonso, but a lot of hitters that tend to get themselves in trouble.
How it came up in the system. You know, just running wild and just trying to make the play.
Your heel.
I find a pitcher is looking at the pitch clock as well, and then go a little further beyond.
And as a middle infielder,
being in the box with 8 seconds rule, that's going to be a little different because the pitcher can be literally, it doesn't really affect me. Get up, get up.
Couldn't get quite up enough.
Nah, it's with the back elbow. Wherever I want to hit the ball, I guide my elbow to wherever the ball, wherever I don't know. I am who I am. I can't come out. I'm not, McNeil has that ability of being able to just say, all right, not my game. Up, hey. Stay. No tag, you're good. I knows what color he's gonna be after. It's like a mood ring. He changes colors depending how I wake up. Nice play.
TJ Stewart in right field. Hey, Francisco, thanks so much for joining us. Good luck in the World Baseball Classic.
Thank you.
Bigger bases to go along with it. The bases from 15 to 18 inches wide in the top of the second inning. We're talking to Francisco Lindor. Daniel Vogelbach fouls one in the long and proud history of ESPN. So we all got to be part of something.
I feel like Francisco Lindor should get some credit too.
He should.
I mean, he was a huge part of it.
So maybe it's an upside down K. Either way, it's a strikeout.
I'm scoring at KV.
I feel like I could go KV, but I want something unique that is a little more to the time, the history.
In the box fully. Not alert to the pitcher.
Not even close. The eyes have to be looking at the pitcher. Spring training 2023. We'll look back years from now and say that's when baseball changed.
It's a whole and only the pitch time.
And I had a veteran pitcher, really good veteran pitcher, tell me, look, we should have brought in.
Garcia better hurry here. He got it off with 1 second on the timer. And he stayed stagnant. And the last 20 years or so, the time of game has jumped. I'm curious.
Guys are getting used to it, especially the hitters. And we talked about that early on. See the last out of the inning. Continue that conversation, but it's definitely something I think the hitters are going to have